Hello, my lovelies. So today we are going to be asking the question, why is this relationship important? Or what is the significance of this relationship? It means the same thing. So I've pulled out 2 of cups from 3 different decks to give you a choice. This one is from the Guardian Night Tarot, 2 of cups. Gorgeous. We have the 2 of cups from the Enchanted Fox Hera, and then we have the 2 of cups from the Grimalkins Tarot. So whichever one you are drawn to, that would be a good indication of which group will answer that question for you. If you would like to choose with crystals, I'll bring that up next. Here's our crystal bag. 3 crystals in here. Mix them up. 1, 2, and 3. We got 3. So put these here and we'll go through what they are. So we have in the first pile a jade, beautiful little jade. In this one we have impression jasper, which is also called patriotic jasper. I wonder why. And then here we have a brown brachiated jasper. Very pretty. Next I'm going to pull out the zodiac. If that is not how you want to pick your piles, then I ask you to go over down below and go to the part of the video which has pile 1 or pile 2 or pile 3. But if you would rather pick with the zodiac, that's coming up now. So for the first pile, mix, we have Libra, Leo, Pisces, and Sagittarius. In the next pile, we have Aries, Gemini, Taurus, and Scorpio. And in the last pile, we have Capricorn, Virgo, Aquarius, and Cancer. Now for, you can pick your pile using your sun, moon, or rising. You might want to pick 2. You might want to pick 3. There could be an answer for you in each pile or one pile. It all depends how your intuition is pushing you or how you're picking your pile. But right now, I'll send you all over to your piles and I'll see you there. Thank you. Hi, pile 1. So you picked the 2 of cups from the Guardian Night Tarot, or you might have picked it using this green jade. It's beautiful. Or with your zodiac sign. So we're going to put these over here. I'll turn these over. Do not worry if these are not how you picked your pile. That's just how someone did pick their pile. If your sign wasn't in there, don't worry about that. That's, like I say, how someone just picked it. We're going to be pulling 5 cards from this deck, this beautiful deck. And we're going to be asking 5 questions to help us find out why this relationship is important. It could be a romantic relationship. It could be a parental relationship, a child relationship, how you are with your children. It could be any kind of relationship. We're going to find out why that relationship is important, what the significance of that relationship is. So we're going to pull 5 cards, each asking a certain question for that relationship to find the answers. So I'm going to just quickly shuffle these, and we are looking for 5 cards. So we'll pull out the sticky out ones. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll take that too. 5. Great. So let's get them situated nicely. So we're going to get some more clarifier cards after we look at these. Nope, we're going to get it now. So we're going to take the tea leaf cards, and well, we'll just give them a quick shuffle. No, we won't, because it just played 100 and something pickup. Okay, we're back. That was crazy useless. All right, so we're going to see which ones are picking out here. Well, we're going to grab this one, this one, this one. Really? That's enough. That will help with things. So let's take a look at these tea leaf cards. So we have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Weeping willow, family sorrow. Well, family wishes come true. And caterpillar. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming. And then month of the year, December. And Astral House, success. Wow, that's what we want to end on for sure. We're going to bring these over just a little bit. It looks like the relationship we're talking about has something to do with family, for sure. It looks like it either started in December or it will continue until this December. The two cards I have at the bottom for the well, wishing well, and success. So hopefully that is pointing towards an outcome for the success of whatever's going on. So let's find out. So the first card is going to talk about the relationship foundation, what this is all about, Knight of Pentacles. The second card is the relationship strengths, and that's the Ace of Cups. Well, that's fantastic. This is the relationship challenges, Five of Swords. All right. This one is karmic lessons, Ten of Swords, and relationship significance, Five of Wands. So let's talk about each one and see if we can break down what the relationship we're talking about is, how it's going to be significant, how it is significant, and what we're going to learn from that. Okay, pile one. So let's start right here with the Knight of Pentacles, and this is the relationship foundation, what this is all built on. As we go through, I think you're going to realize what relationship we're talking about. So if you don't have a relationship in mind, this will clarify it just by looking at the cards, and there's a happy ending to this. So the foundation is the Knight of Pentacles, and that's a hard working energy. It's also a stubborn energy. It can be. We have the donkey on the Knight of Pentacles, so we do have a bit of stubbornness, but the donkey is a very hard-working animal. He helps carry the burden, and I think that's going to be part of what is going to describe this relationship, is carrying the burden. Whether that person is stubborn or you're stubborn, there's a burden involved, and the important thing that this Knight of Pentacles is asking is, are you working toward your goal? Are you taking on your own burdens, or are you taking on someone else's burdens? So now we're going to go look at your strengths, and your strengths are in this relationship that you are calm, you're quiet, you've got a balanced energy. The Ace of Cups is a beautiful energy. When we look at the heron here, he is very balanced. He likes community. What I mean by community is at night they all flock together to connecting trees and spend their evenings there. But during the day, they're very on, not the lonely side, but the individual side, where they go out and they do their hunting. And it's very balanced. You have community, you have working on your own. So here the Ace of Cups is that very balanced, good energy, calm energy. So we have a stubborn energy, we have a hardworking energy, you're bringing a calmness to this. So now let's look at the challenges of this relationship. We have the Five of Swords. That's a challenge. So with this Five of Swords, we have a deer, we have all the chopped down trees with swords in them, and then you have buildings in the background. So the challenges could be a person in your life that takes without any consideration of your feelings or what you want. It could be also an enabler. You might be enabling this person who is doing things that you would not agree with, but you also reap the rewards of it. Whatever that action may be, there is some reward in it for you. They do an action and it's like, but I'll just be quiet, and it passes. They don't want to know my opinion, so I'll just be quiet, and then everything will go back to normal. I'll avoid the fight. That might be a challenge that's going on in this relationship, is that they're depending on you to be calm and quiet with whatever they're doing. They don't really want to know your opinion. So what you are getting out of it is that once all the huff and puff is done, you're back to being the calm, going back to routine. What else could also be happening is that you are the victim, that you, as a result of these bad actions or whatever actions that are going on that are selfish, you are left there to be with your own feelings. There's no one there to say, how do you feel? I'm sorry, did I hurt you? What do you think? You're just kind of the victim, the spectator in this whole drama that is going on. So we have a lot of things that could possibly be challenging this relationship. And it looks like it's not a balanced relationship at all. That the person that this relationship is referring to, the other person, is taking advantage of your calmness, is taking advantage of your work ethic, and has no consideration for how it impacts you, has no consideration of how it affects you, how you feel, and you are bringing calmness and you are being quiet to this situation, but you are being hurt along the way. You must acknowledge the role that you are playing in this relationship. Are you the victim? Are you the martyr? It's like, yeah, that person hurts me, but they're when they're good, they're really good. Like sometimes they hurt me. Sometimes they do selfish things. But most of the time it's okay. Or maybe even just some of the time. Maybe it's like not 50-50. Maybe a lot of time it hurts, but you're stubborn. You're like, oh, we're going to work it out. They're going to eventually stop doing whatever is going on that's hurting me. Eventually this will end. And you're just being calm and patient and waiting. So are you being the victim? Are you being the martyr? You need to find out what your role is. And if you pick this pile, you probably know what this situation is. It could be a partner. It could be at work. It could be someone at work. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be in family, a family dynamic, a parent. You'll do anything just to be acknowledged by them or to feel that, you are part of this family. But also this family is, or whoever is in this family might be not considering your feelings at all. So this is what is going on here. We can also look over here and see possibly that the weeping willow is kind of sitting right here. This says family, so we'll continue with that. It might not be work. This could be making you so sad. This relationship, you want more from it, for sure. What you need to see, we'll put this here, that things may not always be this way. A change is coming. And I think the change will come when you have an aha moment, when you realize that, hey, this doesn't always have to be like this. I do have some control in this situation. I can't control them, but I can control how this is going to affect me and how much I'm going to let this affect me. So let's continue. So now we're going to look at the Ten of Swords. And in this position, this is karmic lessons. This is going to tell you why this situation is happening to you. Karmic lessons, what you're going to learn from this relationship. So there's things that you need to think about. And the Ten of Swords is if we look at the card, we have this, I think they're called cowbirds, and they don't raise their young. They drop their egg in another bird's nest, and that bird eventually will kick out the original eggs, which is sad. And I think it's a wobbler. I think that's what it's called, this card. And they have had to learn how to deal with this cowbird. So the Ten of Swords, very good card for a karmic card. So you have to ask yourself, are you getting anything out of being the victim in this relationship? Is there something that you are getting from this, some kind of reward for being the victim? Do you like complaining? Like this happens and you let it happen, or you feel all that pain, but with that pain you get attention to complain. Like, are you getting attention being a victim? Is that something that you are getting from this? If you're playing the victim, is that enabling the person who is doing all these hurtful things? Are you enabling them to do that because you're quiet and calm? That's what you're bringing. But are they taking advantage of that? You're a hard worker. That's what you're bringing. But are they taking advantage of that? So you need to know, is this something that I need to work on to stop this cycle? Are you giving in to others and saying nothing? So you need to figure out how to deal with those who are taking advantage of your good nature. You need to not be the victim, not feel like the victim. Take control for yourself. That is a hard lesson, but it's a good lesson. And your nature is so good, you honestly don't deserve to be taken advantage of because of your beautiful nature. So the significance of this relationship is the Five of Wands. And what the Five of Wands is going to teach you is that you need to draw boundaries. You need to be determined in keeping those boundaries. So we're looking at the beaver, and which is a great animal to put on the Five of Wands because he has the determination to build his dam. And he is always fighting the forces of the water because he builds his home in the water. So he's constantly repairing it, constantly fighting the waves. But that's his home. So he's very good at protecting it. He's very determined to protect it. And I think for you, you should be very determined to protect your heart, protect your feelings. Protect yourself from people who are very willing to hurt you. They know what they're doing with the Five of Swords. They know that this is hurting you, but they know that eventually, and you know eventually, that eventually it blows over and you're back to calm. But they're taking advantage of that. They are the waves that are hitting your dam. And you have to decide that you are going to work very hard at keeping your peace, at keeping your home, and keeping your heart safe. So you have to stay on track, be patient. It's not going to be easy because that's just not what you're doing. It's not going to be easy. But I think once you get into the habit of protecting yourself and saying no and speaking up, it gets easier because that house, the dam on that river, it gets stronger because you're putting the work into protecting your home, protecting your heart, protecting your feelings. You're putting that work into it. And I think that's really what you need in this situation. You're a hard worker. You put the donkey and the beaver together. Boy, that's a hard worker. So you put those energies together and you can stop what is hurting you. So, of course, then we have the wedge here. And so I think once you start standing up, someone's going to say, wait a minute, I don't like this. This has been easy. I don't want it to change. Here's the wedge. But you might have to use that wedge to stop this behavior. They might not even want to change. It's comfortable having you there as a sounding board every time they get mad or they do something and you're just there. But that's not easy for you. So you might have to use the wedge, or they're going to use the wedge and try to punish you for changing. So you realize that there's going to be resistance, but you need to resist that river that's coming for you with those big waves. You need to be determined and strong, patient. So we have December. So either this started in December or you will finish this by December. You will get what you need for yourself to either better this relationship or possibly make a barrier in this relationship so that you can be healthier mentally and move on. So the problem either started in December, like really started in December, like really got under your skin, or by December, we're going to have success. Move on down. By December, we're going to have that success. We're going to have where you're going to have a much better peace of mind. You're going to feel safer. You're going to feel that you have done something with your work that you were very proud of. And you're going to just feel this, I did it. I'm not a doormat. I'm not being the one hurt with this behavior. So family wishes coming true. Here you go. Success and wishing well. Fantastic. What a great way to end this is that, yes, you will get what you are working for. Pile 1, this is a fantastic reading. I hope you do follow through. I hope you do find that determination to build that dam around your heart so the waves of inconsiderate people are not knocking down your safe place and you get that success that you're wishing for. You get that peace of mind. I hope that is in your future. It sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Pile 1, for picking this pile, and I'll see you next time. Hi, Pile 2. You picked this pile either from the card or from the crystal, the patriotic jasper or the Prussian jasper. Very pretty. Or you might have picked it using your zodiac. If these are not your zodiacs, please don't worry about that. That is just one way that someone has picked their pile. It doesn't necessarily mean that is how you should have picked your pile at all. So we're going to start out by putting out 5 cards. 5 cards that are going to help us understand the relationship that is significant to you. So I'm going to those right now. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's take a look at what we have here. Ding, ding, dong. Do it that way. So for this, we have the relationship foundation is the 5 of air. And then we'll continue. I'll tell you what these are about once we get them on. We got the ace of fire. We got the devil. We have death. And we have the knight of air, which I'm going to have to move everybody. Hello, move along, move along. You get everybody? Everybody have a spot? Fantastic. So the 5 of air is your relationship foundation. The ace of fire is the relationship strengths. The devil is the relationship challenges. Wow. Karmic lesson, death. It's not like death. It's an ending, but we'll get to that. And relationship significance is the knight of air. Isn't it pretty? All right, so now we're going to grab some tea leaf fortune cards. Let's give it a little awful shuffle. Not awkward at all. I'm just going to, we're going to pick what we think is jumping out at me. So we're going to pick that, 2, 3, that one. We're going to grab that one. I see you, I'll grab you. Okay. Really? We got a little more than we wanted, but that's the way it always goes. Every time. So let's see what we've got here. We have forest, muddled, unclear thinking. Elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Nas. Leave those ones. We have tent, temporary situation. We have target, a goal-oriented person. And we have skull, hidden secrets can harm you. We have career, and we have September. Doink. Can we move these up just a little, please? There we go. So everything is out. Super. So now let's start talking about what is going on, and then we'll bring these in. And what a great little reading. Hi, Pile 2. Let's get right into it. So the first card that we have here is the 5 of air, which is the 5 of swords. And so we're going to talk about the foundation of this relationship. And so it looks like in this relationship, we have a person who takes without consideration, doesn't care what anyone else thinks. They will hurt you to get what they want. It looks like this person is okay with hurting you, and you're okay being the victim because possibly that is giving you your own attention with other people. And it could also be that you're an enabler. Because there are bad actions going on, you still benefit in some way in the end. So we have an unbalanced relationship here, and you are playing a part in it. You are not a victim, unless the victim is the role that you are getting the benefit from. So that's the foundation of the relationship we're talking about here. So let's look at the strengths. And that's the ace of fire, which is also the ace of wands. So it looks like in this relationship, there is a sense of adventure. There is a sense of, that's probably what keeps you two together, even though you may be playing the victim or you may be getting hurt. There's still this excitement, a sense of adventure, and you are benefiting from that. You are both benefiting from that. And in this adventure, possibly that adrenaline might be playing a part in this. It's exciting. Crazy people are exciting. The consequences are usually horrific, but crazy people can be exciting. And so I'm not saying that this is the person in the relationship is crazy, but sometimes that energy, it can sweep you into it because it's just like, oh, this is so exciting. This is something I would never do, but it is an adventure. Let's see where this goes. So together, you two are exploring things that to you is like an adventure. But in the end, it looks like you're still getting hurt. They're the ones driving the crazy train. You might find it exciting, but it's going to be draining and it does hurt. And you are dealing with a lot of the consequences that are coming along. So something does need to change. So let's look at the challenges and the devil. So definitely there are some huge challenges in this situation, in this relationship. So there's some unhealthy things going on here. The unhealthy thing could be that maybe there's some unhealthy habits. Maybe there's an avoidance of the problem. It's like crazy things are going on and you're avoiding that. It's like a denial. You're saying, oh, well, it's not really that bad. Well, that kind of hurt, but they're just such a great person. I can't really say anything bad about that. There's an avoidance going on here. And because they are so exciting, you might be listening to bad advice. You might be getting bad advice from this. You might be listening to the wrong people in that circle with your friend or your significant other, even if it's a parent-child situation. If you're the child, your crazy parent, your unbalanced parent might be hurtful, the situations you get into, but it's your parent and it's a little exciting. Or if you're the parent and your child is doing things and you're just going to pretend that everything's okay, there's an avoidance going on here. That's really what I see as the devil. Avoidance of the actual facts. Maybe you're believing the stories they're telling you. Maybe you're believing in some way their action is hurting you and you're believing anything that they're telling you because it's easier, because you want to believe that, they're just, they're young or, they know better, but they want to do this. Whatever the excuse is, you are going along with it. So that is the challenge. We're going to look over here and we're going to look at the karmic lessons and we see death. And you say, well, what's the karmic lesson in that? Death is about letting go, to move on, transformation. It's a transformation. But sometimes transformation is so hard because you're afraid of losing something you have. Maybe you're afraid of losing this relationship. Maybe you're afraid of losing this excitement. Maybe you're afraid of losing the victim status or the martyr. Like, oh, I'll never leave them. I know they're going to get better. I know that, they'll change one day. I know, this is, I want to be there when they're done this foolery, when they grow up and decide to, act like a nice person. So you're hanging on to the dream that something will change in them, that you are the victim. So you're just waiting. You're the martyr. You're sitting here saying, oh, well, one day. And what you need to realize is that you need to let go of believing the lies, believing the fantastical stories that are being told to you. You need to let go of the victimhood. You don't need to be a victim of their actions. You don't need that. You don't need to be the long-suffering friend and grow an identity around that. You are more than that. You might not want to let go of all those fun times maybe you're having together, even though it's hurting you in the end. Maybe you don't want to let go of that. But you got to realize when you do let go, you open the door to transformation. You open the door to something that is so much bigger and better for yourself. You can let go of the hurt. You can let go of those exciting times that eventually end up just not being that exciting and more detrimental. You can let go of that. You can let go of things you know better, but are in denial about. And what's going to happen when you jump right over here? What's going to happen in the end? What you are going to gain is the Knight of Air. And the Knight of Air commands attention on their own because maybe they were getting all the attention and you were along for the ride. So in association, you got attention, but realize that you can get attention for good things, things about yourself that are wonderful, that maybe you do not deserve to be in their wake of pain, that you need to be able to speak up. Because I feel like in this relationship, you may have lost your voice. You may have lost your way a bit. May have lost the power that you have to say, no, I don't really want to do that. No, I don't think that's healthy to do that. No, I don't think I'm going to believe your stories. You may have lost your voice a bit. By standing up for what you believe in to be better for you, you will get your voice back. And in this, possibly in this situation, you might even gain the knowledge about this situation and you could be helping other people. Because sometimes you don't know who's watching you, who's the silent cheerleader, who's really got your best interests in heart. And when you step away from what is not good for you, you might be inspiring other people to do the same. It's like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. You never know who you're inspiring by your good actions and deeds. You don't always have to tell everybody what you're doing. Just letting them see you get away from unhealthy situations can be enough for them to say, I can do that too. And that is a very powerful thing to do. Not knowing, this is a general reading, so not knowing, what the situation is, if it's, parent-child, if it's friends, if it's family, knowing that you are participating in the continuity of this pattern that is hurting you, and knowing you have the power with Death card to end it for yourself, to end your participation in it, that you will be stronger and you can be a voice for other people who need to see the reality of their own situation. So when we look at the tea leaf cards, we have a long journey, physical or mental, will leave you wiser in the end. Well, that's exactly what's going on here. I think it's more mental. There might be some physical parts in this, but I think on the general, it's more of a mental thing and it's more of a decision thing. And I think what the elephant is saying is that it might not happen overnight. Habits usually don't. It comes with continuing to decide every day what you want in your life. And if you want it better, you have to decide that every day. I want a better life. And you will be wiser in the end. You will see signs in the end. It's like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? It was right there. I needed to see that. I could have done this earlier, but now I'm wiser. Now I see it. So, forest, muddled, unclear thinking. I think that's where you are right now. Because when you're in the forest, you can't see beyond the next group of trees. Your world becomes small. And it's only when you get out of the forest that you can look around and you can see what's really going on. So it is harder to see this path, but once you decide, then you'll know that, yeah, this is where I need to be. This is the healthy place to be. Right now you're in the forest. And just knowing you're in the forest can push you along this path so much faster. Temporary situation. It's true. Once you decide what you want to do, it's a temporary situation. This is where you want to be. A goal-oriented person. I believe that. I believe that you are very goal-oriented. I believe you know that when you see what you want, when you take that step back and you see what you want, then I think you will go for it. I think this clear thinking is something that you want to go for. This lack of somebody there hurting you or helping you hurt yourself mentally, emotionally, that once you get that goal, I think you're going to make it. Hidden secrets can harm you. Well, that's the devil. What you don't know, you don't know. And sometimes you know and you don't want to know. Sometimes those secrets aren't so hidden, but if you in your mind say, that can't be true, that's not true, no matter what you tell me, this is what I believe, that denial, that can harm you in the long run. But you're seeing now that you want to get into a better position for yourself. You're seeing that. You're getting that target. You know there is better. You know there is a way out of this. September. I think September will be a great turning point, according to the cards, when you really dial in exactly what you want, because it is going to be a longer journey. It is going to be a constant journey. Because I'm believing this is easy. It's easy to believe the lies. It's easy to believe the thrill of doing things that are just not in your best interest. It's easy, especially when you have somebody over here going, yeah, come on. Yeah, don't act like that. It's hard sometimes to say no. In career, well, like I was mentioning over here, one thing that might be happening is that you might even change careers. You might get into, maybe if this situation warrants it, you might get into a career where you're helping others get away from whatever is happening in your life right now. Or maybe you put yourself more into your career. Maybe that's another way to move on from the excitement that's happening in your life, that maybe you focus more on your career and your energy goes into that instead of the excitement that's going on here. Maybe you put it into a career that is exciting. Maybe you replace this excitement with something that's going to benefit you in the long run, in the short one possibly too. Maybe changing careers, starting a new career, focusing on your career. That might be a really good stepping stone into getting to where you need to be. This is a fantastic reading, pile 2. I hope this helped you find the significance in a relationship in your life and gives you some kind of pathway into getting a much healthier relationship for yourself. And hope to see you again. Thank you for being here. Hi, pile 3. You picked this 2 of cups and this crystal, the brown brachiated jasper. Very pretty. If you chose with your zodiacs, they're right here. If you did not choose with your zodiac, that's all right. You can still choose this pile. That was just meant for people who like to choose their piles with the zodiac. It does not mean that it is not meant for you. So right now we're going to be looking at the significance of a certain relationship, and we're going to be picking 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, we got our cards. So here we go. First one is the Moon, Ace of Cups, the King of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the 10 of Cups. Gotta say, pile, I'm going to move everything over here. Pile 3, that ending was probably the best one so far. 10 of Cups is a very happy looking card, but we'll see. We'll see when we get reading what that actually entails. And we're also going to be picking some tea leaf cards. Trying to shuffle on camera has never been a good option, so we're not going to continue. I do pre-shuffle, but we're not going to continue with that. So we're going to pick some cards, and that was just jumping. And we want, there we go. Really want to, oh, look, come right out. Okay, so now the fun part. Oh, don't be so difficult. Okay, let's take a quick look at these cards. We have the Wheel, Decisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. We have Broom, New Home, New Attitude. We have Bull, Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. We have Harp, Great Happiness. And we have Hat, You will be playing a different role. We have Career, and we have December. Bing, bang, bong. Have a little pile. All right, so let's look into the 5 cards we have here. We're just going to move some of these around. 5 cards we have here, and I'm going to turn off that light. There, isn't that better with the light off? Not so much glare, just the sun. Okay, so this looks much better. So we're looking at, in position 1 here, we're looking at the relationship foundation, and it's the moon. So in this relationship, we're talking about where you are aware of what is illusion and what is reality. You know that in this relationship, illusion is distorting reality, and you're feeling alone and lost, possibly because the other person in this situation is maybe presenting this story. And as their friend or partner, you know the truth and you're silent in this story. We'll look along here soon, but with the moon, it's the moonlight, it's not sunlight. So a lot of things are not clear when you're, outside. And you in this situation know what the truth is of the situation. And you're being silent about it. This is your side of the relationship. I mean, it could be a career relationship, and you know that something is going on and the company is not telling everybody, or the boss is not telling everybody, but you know. It could be a partnership, your significant other, and they're telling stories to friends and family, but you know that's not true. But you're there keeping the illusion. It could be a friendship that in the same way, friends are telling these stories, but you know the truth and you're keeping your silence, which in all stories, that is usually not the healthiest situation. It could also be, a parent-child. Parent could be telling stories, child could be telling stories, and you are kind of sitting there quietly and letting it just play out. So that's you in this situation, in this relationship. Now let's look at your strengths. Your strengths are you're compassionate, you're forgiving, and you're loving. Look at you. But it looks like possibly this is what is keeping you here, because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. You don't want to have other people see this person in a different light, even though you know the truth. You don't want that for them because you're loving and you're compassionate and you're just a wonderful souled person. But you know right and wrong, and you're keeping quiet. So the challenge is this King of Wands. And the King of Wands can be overpowering. Powering. Hello. And some of the downsides of the King of Wands is that they can be superficial. They have over-the-top theatrics. They can be so charming. They can attract support, which might be the reason you are being quiet, because they're popular. They have that silver tongue. They can turn a bad situation into their favor. They can spin a story that anybody would believe. But you know the truth. So you're kind of sitting back and letting that continue. And this person is telling stories. This person is spinning yarns. Haha, cat yarn. In this relationship, you might be feeling a bit powerless, disadvantaged, because maybe you feel that if you said anything, they would turn against you. And you like their friendship, or it's a family member, you like the relationship you have, but you hear all the lies and stories, and you know the truth. And maybe you're even thinking, like, if only people knew what this person was really like, they wouldn't put so much trust in them, or they wouldn't put so much energy into them, which is fueling them, fueling their antics and fueling their stories. And he or she, they are getting away with these things that if people know the truth, they wouldn't think they're such a great person. In your own mind, you're thinking, maybe I should just let that be. Maybe I just keep to the background. But sometimes the background is a really hard, lonely place to be. Maybe you're getting tired of being lonely, being in that position of knowing and having no one to tell, no one to confide in, because their personality is so big. And my God, that was my stomach. I'm so sorry. What are you saying? So this is the challenge, is that over-the-top person. So let's look at the karmic lesson in this. And the karmic lesson in this is the hangman. And the hangman is all about letting go of control, or changing your priorities, or living in the now, or letting go of expectations. So I think the part that might be helpful here, or the part that is the karmic challenge here, is possibly letting go of control, and maybe even changing your priorities. So let's look at that. If it is about letting go of control, what kind of control do you have? Well, you have control over how you think. You have the control over how you want people to see this person. And if you let that go, just let them continue on their way. You don't have to be the support in the background. You don't have to be. You're choosing to be. You know the truth, and you're choosing to stand by the stories and just shake your head. Oh, yes, no, that happened. Oh, yes, exactly like that. You're right. You're allowing that. And maybe you should let go of that. Maybe you should let go of being the second act in this play and just maybe stop supporting everything this person says. Maybe stop being that background figure that's just nodding their head as they're telling the story. Maybe now you just kind of walk away off stage. Maybe it's just like, now they're on stage. And if there's no one there shaking their head, yes, this is true, maybe people will start seeing through those stories. And then they got to make up more stories to back those stories, because you're not in the background shaking your head, yes, yes, no, this is the way I remember it. If you're not there supporting them, now they're alone on stage and they can just burn up in their own flames. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Liar, liar, dahlia on fire. So maybe letting go of control is maybe letting go of being controlled. Maybe they need you there to support them so that they can be that bigger than life person. Maybe if, oh, hello motorbike. Maybe if you are not supporting their antics and you just kind of find maybe something else for you, stop living through them. Stop living through their stories. Maybe step out of their shadow, right? Moon, shadow. Maybe step out of their shadow. Maybe think about letting go of what you believe will happen if this person is not controlling your life, or is not telling you what to think in your life, is not telling you that you need to support me, we need to look like a united front. Maybe if you let go of that, you don't have to be the person that like comes out and says, oh, you know, they're liars, or they're not telling the truth, or because they're charming and they've always had everyone's attention. And that's so very hard to fight. But if you step away, if you find other friends, or you find other communities where you can shine, people who want you to be the authentic you and not just be the backup player, because you are compassionate, forgiving, and loving, and someone will appreciate that very much. Now, if this is a business relationship, that might mean maybe finding a new job, finding a different job, different meaning that you can let your strength shine through instead of being there to make this person's strength seem legit. If it's a family situation, well then stop supporting the liars, because nothing ever comes about with supporting bad behavior. If this is your own relationship with a significant other, it's okay to just not be there nodding your head when the shenanigans start. You don't have to be the supporting role. So let's move on. We're going to go, the significance of this relationship is the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups wants to cultivate peace, gratitude, and allow others to join in. It's like-minded people finding the best in each other. It's happiness. And that is truly what people want in a relationship. So we can look at this in many ways. We can look that maybe these friends or friend who is all attention getting, maybe you find other friends. You can probably still be friends with them, but you don't have to be the background singer. You can be with people who are like-minded, who support you and see you for who you are and just love you for that. If it's family, well, maybe you find other people who you can call family and hang with them. If it's business, maybe you find the people in the company who together will make your day better. Like, it is all about finding your people. It's all about finding happiness, especially happiness within yourself and as a community. Because right now, you're feeling lonely. Like, you're stuck in this, like, am I the only one that sees this? Am I the one that has to be there to support? Because I want people to like me too. What you have to realize is that you are likable on your own. This King of Wands doesn't define you. Probably is quite dependent on you. So you yourself can find like-minded people and have that attention and that bliss for yourself. You can still be friends, but you don't need to be lonely. You can find that. So let's look at these. Wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Well, that speaks to the loneliness, doesn't it? Like, they are obviously in charge, and you are the bandwagon behind them, and you need to realize that you can take control of your life. You don't have to be center stage to take control of your life like they are. You have the ability to find your people and be the star of your show. New home, new attitude. There you go. Where you put your energy, attention follows. And if you find that your attention is no longer focused on the King of Wands, and your attention becomes focused on you, then you're going to find people for your tribe who are also focused on you. And you won't be lonely. And let's look here what we got. The Bull. Do not back down from position. Show strength and fortitude. So when that support is not there, this King of Wands might get a little angry, get a little bullish. You need to be bullish back. You're strong. So you don't need to back down for his demand or her demand, their demand for attention. You have every right to happiness. So don't back down from that. Don't go back in the shadows. Great happiness. Yes, yes. You deserve it. And you can have it. You will be playing a different role. Exactly. You're not going to be the backup singer in the dark. You can find your tribe and be right out in the spotlight with all of them together as a group. You will have to change how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself, because you're worth it. Absolutely. Career. If this is business, you can find a better career. Quite honestly, when you get your tribe, it might lead you to a different career. You are a loving, giving person. You're compassionate. You might find that, hey, I have so much love and compassion to give because it's been ignored for so long. Maybe I need to express that more, and I'm going to find a better career where I can safely show how wonderfully compassionate I am. I can show how loving I am. Maybe there's a better career for you. Maybe these new friends will say, you should really be counselor. Maybe you should be artist. Who knows? Maybe there's a career change coming. That would be interesting. And the time is December. So, end of the year. End of the year, a lot of this could be happening. You might have to think long and hard. Maybe until then. Until you just start moving away out of this person's shadow. Might take that long. Because a hangman does think. And there's no limit on how long you're going to think about what you need for yourself to have a fulfilling life. There's no limit. There's nothing that says, tomorrow I have to find these people. I have to find who I am and who I am when I'm not in the shadows. Who am I? You don't have to do that. You can slowly do that because it's going to be revealed to you, because this is where you belong. You belong here. You don't belong here. You don't belong. Look at these two. Where would you rather be? Staring off at the moon in the shadows? Or look at this. New friends, bright sunlight, birds, trees, flowers. such a happy situation there. You look back. Once you decide where you're going, you will look back and say, I will never let that happen to me again. I will never be put in the shadows. I will never be second fiddle. My life deserves to be full of this happiness, full of friends that really get me. You deserve it, and you're going to figure out that you deserve it. And pile 3, I love that you are here. This is a wonderful message for you. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. It looks like a wonderful beginning. Thank you, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.